サイゲームスプレゼンツライジンワールドグランプリ開幕戦。リトアニアの狼男テオドラス・オークストリス。伝統あるリトアニア武士道ライトヘビー級王者。大好物の失神 KO を奪うと雄たけびを上げる。日本文化マニアでもあるオークストリス。大好きな日本で王座をつかむか。対するはワルシャワの赤鬼シモン・バヨル。強豪ひしめくポーランドの最前線で活躍。前へ前へと突き進む獰猛ファイトで敵を粉砕する。グランプリ開幕にふさわしい殴り合い削り合い。テオドラス・オークストリスリトアニア、シモン・バヨルポーランド。
Here we go, the first fight of the Side Games presents RIZIN Fighting World Grand Prix 2016 Open Weight Tournament. Now, the first 2 rounds are 5 minutes. If for whatever reason the judges determine that this is a too close of a fight, they cannot determine a winner, we go to an extra round where the judges will only judge the last 5 minutes to determine a winner. And walking to the cage right now from Poland is Szymon Bajor.
Yeah, I am really excited about this tournament, man. Obviously being a heavyweight, watching all these guys come in. Now Szymon's got a bit of a weight advantage. He's about 20 pounds heavier. Both men are standing at 6 feet tall, even.
It's his first time competing in Japan. He's a father of 2 kids, one 7-year-old and one 13-month-old. Loves to ride his motorbike. Loves to train with his young son, his 7-year-old son. He understands that his opponent tonight, Teodoras Aukstuolis, will likely be faster than him, but he's well prepared for that.
Yeah. And he's coming actually from a really good organization in Poland, KSW, which I've only heard fantastic things about. And really just that organization is just huge over there.
He says he loves the tournament format. You asked him a question flat out, what do you think of the tournament? And he smiled ear to ear. He said he absolutely loved it because it brings back an air of natural selection.
That's true. He did say that.
I don't blame him. It's true. I mean, you can compete. I mean, for anyone that's ever done wrestling, judo, or any sort of martial art, to go through a tournament format, I mean, I don't know if it's myself that I feel old school, but tournaments is how it all started, especially in North America. We saw it so many times, from Shuto to Pride, just to everything in mixed martial arts, and now RIZIN is continuing the theme of the tournament. And I think it's right, it does bring back a certain air of natural selection. Who is the best? And now he's taking on a gentleman by the name of Teodoras Aukstuolis from Lithuania.
Yep, wearing the gi, reminiscent of Street Fighter, Kin.
Yeah, right, absolutely.
And Teodoras actually had a fantastic performance back in January at the Grand Prix, losing to Yuri, who we're going to be seeing him fight later. But man, this guy is really awesome to watch.
No, what's really awesome about him is that he's a beekeeper. He is a beekeeper on the side. You can literally look him up on eBay, place an order for your jar of honey. Just look up, quote, the Lounge of Honey, end quote. He started this as a hobby 7 years ago, and it just kept getting bigger. He has 40 hives now, and yes, Keith Haring, he has been stung over 1,000 times.
Oh, easy. He says every time, what, 14, 15 times every day, he said.
Listen, you guys were mocking me during the interview because luckily I've never been stung by a bee. I can only imagine, let alone being stung over 1,000 times. Started training judo at the age of 8, migrated to mixed martial arts at the age of 16. Here's how the 2 gentlemen match up, the youth factor going to the Lithuanian. Obviously, not much of a height difference. The weight, obviously, in favor of the Polak. But I'm so looking forward to these 2 guys finally getting this Openweight Grand Prix underway.
ただいまより無差別級トーナメント1回戦 第一試合を行います。青コーナー185センチ111.6キロシモン・バヨール。赤コーナー183センチ103.2キロテオドラス・オークストリス。
Now, from my video on Teodoras, and I've been seeing him fight several times, he's really, really aggressive, a really good, more of a stand-up kind of karate background. I haven't seen much on Szymon. I don't know about his ground or stand-up ability, but I definitely see Teodoras to come out really aggressive, really strong, and fast.
That look that you see right now on Aukstuolis' face has been the same look from the moment he arrived in Japan.
Yeah.
Very, very intense.
Absolutely.
A lot at stake here for both gentlemen. They kicking off this Grand Prix. A lot of eyes are paying attention.
Nice.
A nice combination there, a 5 and a 3.
Right uppercut. And Teodoras has shown quite a bit of ability. He's very, very quick on his feet, but you know, this weight disadvantage. This is something I kept asking the lighter fighters in the tournament: is are you worried about the weight disadvantage? But and none of them seem to really be worried about it. But I think now you're going to start seeing it.
Szymon is doing a great job here, using his distance. And the minute Teodoras moves forward, he got the jab, double jab, and he follows it up with that right hook. If Teodoras moves the wrong way to his left.
Yeah. Well, that extra 20 pounds on those punches makes a difference. Nice.
You can hear these punches. My goodness.
And Teodoras is a little bit waiting on him. He seems to be a little bit more of a defensive fighter. He's kind of waiting for, or Szymon rather. He's kind of waiting for Teodoras to come in and close the distance and then counter off of it.
Another attempted uppercut there by Teodoras, nearly landing.
Oh, nice. Szymon's doing a really, really good job with that overhand kind of right hand.
Another uppercut there. That is something obviously that he is trained for in this fight here. It's something he's must have seen in the way that Bajor stands.
Well, and you see that a lot with a smaller, littler guy. They try to get inside, and from inside, from the shell, as they call it in boxing, he tries to come up and throw that uppercut. And Szymon's doing a good job of trying to counter that by coming over with the overhand looping hooks and getting him out of that pocket, keeping the distance.
And right Teodoras at times is moving to the power side.
Correct. Well, that's why Szymon keeps throwing that looping overhand right, is as he's inside in the pocket, it's knocking him out, and he's able to counter and take an angle with it. And we see both men just kind of taking their time, kind of feeling each other out. We haven't seen many kicks at all.
Szymon's putting his hands down very, very early.
He kind of started off with him at waist height.
Oh,
nice.
Beautiful punch landed there. He smells blood there. He's going to keep throwing that right there.
And here we just see the size advantage from Szymon. He's able to really use that weight and that pressure to keep Teodoras up against the ropes.
Do you think he was baiting him by bringing his hands down? And as soon as Teodoras attacked, boom.
Perhaps. I think that's just more the fights out. He's kind of at chest level guard. And especially with a small man like that, these guys that are start bringing down more at the head level. Not something I would suggest doing.
No, not at all. But if you're the shorter fighter like Teodoras, are you thinking of throwing some sort of combination where you do end on the body?
I think Teodoras is trying to get on the inside and trying to land a shot, but he's just not able to. Once he gets in, he's not able to capitalize, and that's what Szymon's doing a really good job of right now. Once he gets inside, he pushes him away and steps back, and lands a big shot as he comes in. So now you're seeing Teodoras starting to slow down a little bit. He's not coming in as hard as he was early on. Szymon's doing a good job. He's starting to use that jab a little bit more. Now he's baiting him there. Absolutely. When he's dropping that left hand, he is baiting him and inviting him trying to come in. I think he's starting to kind of get his speed here, getting to feel a little bit more comfortable.
And we did mention at RIZIN that we do score on damage here, and we can see the left eye of Teodoras has a bit of damage there, but right pretty much smack dab in the middle of Symon's forehead. We do see a cut.
And we're seeing that combination work really, really well for Szymon right now. He's doubling up on the jab and following up with the right overhand right. And Szymon also seems to have a little bit of a cut right in the middle of his forehead. Szymon just close the distance, putting him up against the ropes. And this is something we don't see a lot in the States with the cage. The corner actually is, you're able to trap guys in the corner and close the distance and try to keep them out. Szymon did a pretty good job of that, but now he's kind of let Teodoras back out in the center. Oh, man.
Good combinations thrown there by Szymon, but it was a nice little stick jab there from Teodoras before that combination. But obviously, the man who won that exchange was obviously Bajor.
Right. And I think you're seeing the weight advantage at this point. He doesn't have to beat him on speed. He just has to land the heavy shot. And I think he's starting to figure that out.
Oh, beautiful. He was winning those exchanges. That's one of the oldest things I learned a very long time ago. Don't worry about how many punches are being thrown. Who wins that exchange?
Right. No, and I think as we see the round progress, we see Szymon really starting to step in, starting to understand and use his size and his weight advantage in those situations. Here we go. We're seeing again the jab, and then
that's the uppercut that finally landed for him that he was throwing from the beginning of the fight.
Good for Teodoras.
Now, Mr. Herring, on your unofficial scorecard, do you score that for Szymon Bajor or Teodoras Aukstuolis?
Right. No, absolutely. That's a round for Szymon. Under the criteria, I would say definitely with damage. The aggression I would have almost equal on both fighters. And I would say control definitely goes to Szymon. Even though at the beginning, probably the first quarter of the fight, I would give to Teodoras in the control situation. But Szymon was able to turn it around and come at him.
Now, they're not working that left eye. As you can see there is some swelling underneath, or at least on the top of the orbital bone. But both those guys are just sitting there. They're sucking back wind. There was a lot of exchanges and a lot of power at the end there.
Absolutely. The whole round.
Round number 2. Cygames presents RIZIN Fighting World Grand Prix 2016 open weight. And we saw Vanderlei Silva obviously paying close attention, likely taking some notes because he has a bye and he will be competing in this tournament.
And here we have, and really the problem with Teodoras, he's dropping his head as he's coming in. So he's missing his shot. He's losing sight of Szymon. And Symon's done a really good job of kind of staying on the outside and throw that hook. But he's not throwing any straight shots. They're all looping hooks that he's landed with.
Let me throw this at you, Herring. If you look at the way Szymon stands with his left leg, very heavy on his left leg, are you throwing some right kicks as we show the axe murderer?
Well, yes, absolutely. But once again, we're not seeing Teodoras. He hasn't worked it at all. He should have started that early on in the first round. He's wanting to duck and come in. And really for Szymon, a knee, setting up a good knee, if he was able to kind of clinch in that position and throw a right knee or a back knee, it would be really, really dangerous for the Lithuanian.
So you're saying if Aukstuolis gets aggressive, clinch,
well, as he does.
There's a takedown attempt here.
No, as Teodoras is coming in, if someone's really trying to set up a back knee, that would be a really good way to kind of slow down. Szymon, of course, now getting on top.
So he gets the takedown here. Does he want to stay in this position here and ground and pound, or does he want to at least clear one leg?
I don't know. We're gonna see the ability of Szymon on the ground here, and we haven't seen Teodoras on his back very much, so I'm not sure where his level of jiu-jitsu is. We saw Szymon pass right there easily. Now getting into side control. Still going to get the head down.
I was just going to say, should he not have an underhook there on the other side? Because it's going to obviously Teodoras is able to escape without it.
Right, and from what I've seen so far, I'm not seeing these men showing a lot of aptitude on the ground.
Taking the back now. Yep. Trying to get the hooks in there. We got one on this side here. We got 2 hooks in there. He's flattening him out.
Oh yeah. Szymon really needs to get those hooks in deeper and flatten out Teodoras and not let him get up. Teodoras is really covering up right here. Szymon needs to really kind of flatten Teodoras out here and not let him get out from this position.
He's going for the choke. Yep. Oh, he's got full mount here.
Full mount. But I don't know that he's going to be able to finish from this. Teodoras has to explode off this.
Do you think he's trying to set up an armbar here? Nope.
No.
He just wants to
not worried
ground
about
and
an armbar at all. That is not even coming into his head. Yeah, if Teodoras isn't able to get him off his chest, I don't see this fight going well.
Well, he just attempted to bridge there, but he didn't trap one side.
Yeah.
He's just trying to just set some distance here. He's just jumping from the frying pan into the fire right now.
Yeah. Well, no, if he can get his hips up and get out the back door, it's possible. I haven't seen Szymon really doing a great job of controlling it.
So you're talking about the actual spin as we have 2 minutes left potentially in this fight here. You're talking about the spin, and once your opponent gets off to that diagonal side, you come across.
Right here, in this position that we're in right now with Teodoras, if he's able to jack his hips up and come out through the back, I think that'd be the best situation. This is awful. He can't be flattened out in this position, especially with a larger man on top. He's really, really going to have an issue. Here's Symon's on top, and this is a huge advantage to the larger man. You have 20 extra pounds on top.
You're moving a lot more mass.
A lot more mass. It's just going to suck the air right out of him. So we are seeing the inexperience of Teodoras on the ground.
He has just over a minute. He's got to figure this out. He's got to get out or he will not be advancing in this tournament. As Szymon Bajor, since this fight has been down to the ground, has absolutely been dominant. He is looking right now for some sort of choke, more of the trachea than actually a blood choke, trying to make him pass out. And now he's back to the ground and pounding.
Yeah, really, you know, Szymon, these blows are obviously hurting him, but I don't know that they're going to be finishing blows. Again, back on his back, he's not sticking the hooks all the way in, he's getting his feet in to flatten Szymon out, or to flatten Teodoras out.
35 seconds left to go here for Teodoras Aukstuolis to do something. He's got to go for the finish here because as it stands right now, if this fight goes the distance, Szymon Bajor from Poland will advance and represent his country in the Psy Games presents RIZIN Fighting Openweight Grand Prix 2016.
Yeah, really, all Szymon has to do at this point is just kind of coast out, just keep throwing some shots.
There's what you're talking about.
Carrying out the back door.
He's got 10 seconds to do something.
He's got to get a knockout.
Can he do it?
Szymon needs to get those hands up. If I was in this corner, I'd be just telling him to circle away. Yeah. Dominant performance from Szymon Bajor.
Definitely a dominant performance, but believe it or not, and I can tell you about drills that you do at the gym sometimes working ground and pound, you can actually get fatigued yourself trying to finish an opponent pounding and pounding away. Look at him.
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. It's not easy. It's not but we didn't really see him in the ability to finish Teodoras on his back there. And here we go. We see some exchanges up top.
Now, not the most technical exchange right there, but he eventually does get the takedown, and it was basically the beginning of the end for Teodoras Aukstuolis' night here.
Yeah, and Szymon, you know, once he got on top, we didn't see him really work for any submissions other than the slightly attempted rear naked choke. He didn't do a really good job of flattening Teodoras out or moving into side control. Yeah, here we go. It's kind of a weak attempt at a choke. He wasn't going to get it. But, you know, ground and pound.
I like this position, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to do some damage to someone's face, obviously getting in the half choke, making sure that other arm isn't able to defend it, and you can just keep going.
Or get the referee stopped.
Judge Umeda, Bajor. Judge Koike, Bajor.
There we go.
Judge Fukuda, Bajor. Yotte shoucha, Szymon Bajor.
Szymon Bajor from Poland advances in the Psy Games presents RIZIN Fighting World Grand Prix 2016. Obviously a dejected Teodoras Aukstuolis was expecting much more from himself, was doing his best in the stand-up realm, but once that fight got down to the ground, Heath, it was game over.
And I think right here you just see the main advantage, I say, was Symon's size and his weight. Once he was able to get on top, Teodoras didn't really have an answer to it. I don't know that I didn't see a lot of fantastic wrestling or ground control either. I think if Teodoras had a little bit more experience on the ground, he could have gotten up in several situations or reversed, but definitely the fight goes to the bigger man in this situation.
I I know there's many people out there sometimes that often laugh, how can a fighter get tired when he's in mount trying to finish an opponent? And I tell them all the time, try it.
Yeah.
Try it. Get a heavy bag, put the heavy bag on the ground, put some gloves on,
sure.
and go full tilt. Time yourself. It is exhausting.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely is. And that's why knowing how to finish opponent in a dominant position is so important. You don't want to waste the opportunities when you receive them.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I love these hammer fists. This is Shogun.
Oh.
Shogun special here. Back in the day.
Fantastic.
If I'm not mistaken, Paulo Filho used to use it.
The hammer fists are fantastic. Fantastic weapon.
There was a time early in the world of mixed martial arts where the hammer fists were laughed at. If I'm not mistaken, Maurice Smith used to say it about Mark Coleman. And then in pride, Shogun proved otherwise.